Hello everyone, thanks for joining me on StubbleMeetsSteel. So I was talking to a gentleman named Ben on the Facebook shaving group that I'm on, and he had the question of what's a mild low blade feel open comb? And I know I had the same question when I first got into this hobby, and I had heard all the hype that open comb razors are often more blade feely and aggressive, and I tried a few. One of the first ones that I tried was the Razor Rock Slock head, and that one was a little bit, I could use it, but I didn't like it. For me personally, it had a little bit too much blade feel, and I just didn't like how it shaved. And I've tried a few other ones since then, and I find it there are some open combs out there that are kind of mild and lower blade feel, but still have higher efficiency. And so one of the ones that has been getting a lot of hype lately is the Hendrix Classic & Co. Van Winkle. And it's been getting a lot of press as having a low blade feel and a more mild open comb that you could use daily. And another great channel that I like to watch is the Inspector's Den, and when he was reviewing some razors, he had kind of casually mentioned that Goodfellas also makes a really smooth, very pleasurable open comb. And so it was on my radar for a while, and when I looked at the price point on these two, I said, boy, these two would make a great video because they're both basically under $30. You can pick up the Goodfellas open comb for, I think it's $26 or $27 on New England Shaving and a couple other places, and then the Van Winkle is about $24. So here's two open combs that are very comparable in price and are being touted as lower blade feel, daily shaving open combs, and so I thought this would make a great comparison. The Goodfellas is offered in 3 different handles. You can get it in this aluminum handle, it's solid aluminum. You can also, this is the Gladio as they call it with this particular handle on there. They also make it in the Italico, which is also aluminum, but kind of has like raised bumps on it. And then there's also a stainless steel handle. And so there's 3 different variations. They're all pretty much the same price. The head is the same on all 3 of them. The head is a zinc alloy, or Zamac as some like to call it. On both of these razors, the head is Zamac. On this one, I believe the handle is stainless steel. Grip-wise, a little bit personal preference. I do like this handle quite a bit. This part and this, these rings, so to speak, as well as all these grooves cut in there, do provide a fantastic grip. That's one of the reasons I chose this one. This particular one, it does have awesome knurling on it. For me personally, I feel that it's kind of on the edge of being sharp. It doesn't cut me or anything. It's awesome grip. I mean, you could dunk your hand in a bucket of oil and grab this bad boy and shave with it. So if you're a person that shower shaves or always looking for an awesome grip razor, I'd have to give the grip a little bit of a win to the Van Winkle there. It is a little bit of a sharp knurling, but it's got a great feel to it. But I do really like this, and I don't find that it's slippery or anything, so kind of based on personal looks and preferences there. The handle is kind of hollow on this. That'd be my only kind of critique of this. I wish the handle was solid, but obviously you're talking a lot of metal there, so it'd probably bump up the price point quite a bit. Fit and finish in the hand, if I had to be nitpicky, I'd say that the Goodfellas definitely feels like a more solid razor. Tobin on his channel just came out and said that the gap on this Van Winkle is 0.58 millimeter gap. There is no gap measurements disclosed at all for the Goodfellas. I noticed today when I was watching the Tobin's video that he mentioned to check blade alignment on this, and you can kind of grab the blade and kind of tweak it back and forth a little bit. And I noticed on one side, I don't know how you'll be able to see it, but on one side, this side, it seems like it's closer, it extends further out to the teeth than on this side, I noticed today. Whereas the fitment blade alignment on the Goodfellas is locked down, there's no variance there. They both kind of have mildly exposed blade tabs if that's something that bothers you. Less on the Goodfellas than on the Van Winkle, but I know some people that really is a big selling point or not for them, so I thought I'd mention it. I always kind of forget that. For today's soap, having a little bit of fun. I'm using, this is the old school tin of Elysian. This is the Pineapple Ambrosia. But the reason why I'm having a little bit of fun was I talked to Mr. Menthol, Barry over at a Texan Shaves, and he said get some menthol crystals and you can put them in a pepper grinder and grind them up. So I wanted to do that because one of my favorite aftershaves is this Sterling's Iced Pineapple, which is basically a mentholated pineapple smell. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of try some of these crystals out. So let's get into this shave and we'll see if I put too much menthol crystals in this soap or not. So let's get going here. For today's blades, I have 7 o'clock greens, the super stainless. Always great cushion on this Elysian soap. I was going to show off, I did get a Hendrix Classic Co. soap, the Alone one, which has a great smell to it. Kind of reminds me scent-wise of Ariane and Evans Khalifa, but unfortunately it gives me fragrance burn on my neck, so I didn't want to use that soap on camera. I'm going to try it one more time just to make sure, but yeah, it seemed like it bothered me pretty good last time, so unfortunately that one didn't work for me. Alright, so let's get going here. I'm going to use the Goodfellas Gladio on this side of my face. Very smooth so far. Very low blade feel for an open comb. All right, nice first pass with the Goodfellas. Let's try the Hendrix Classic Co. Van Winkle here. I personally have a medium coarseness beard, and I noticed the other times when I've used this Van Winkle so far on the more coarser hair on my chin here, it feels like the blade is just starting to chatter. So if you have really coarse or salt and peppery hair, you might find that the blade chatters quite a bit on the Van Winkle for you. If you have a more fine, lighter, non-coarse beard, you might not notice that sensation at all. Just comparatively, just having used the Goodfellas on the other side of my face, it seems like the Goodfellas has more blade clamping and the blade didn't chatter at all. Van Winkle felt nice and smooth other than the minor chatter that I got there. Let's see how the menthol feels on the second pass here. Oh yeah, now I feel pretty good. Seems like I got it just about right. I could put a little more crystals in there, but not over the top. Feels nice, refreshing. All right, let's do this second pass here. minute, I'm gonna let my dog in. All right, sorry about that. Van Winkle was smooth there on the against the grain pass on my neck, but again, I couldn't help but notice the mild starts of blade chatter. Not uncomfortable or anything, I'm just passing on the information that I'm picking up during the shave. I have a buddy that has super coarse beard, and he brought to my attention that the Parker open comb chatters for him. And sure enough, the last time I used it, I couldn't help but notice that he definitely planted that seed. So if you have more coarser hair, these are things that you might notice versus somebody that doesn't have coarser hair with the same razor. All right, let's go across the grain. Very smooth on that pass for the Goodfellas Gladio. Let's see how the Van Winkle feels. Hold on 1 minute, my dogs are barking. My daughter just went out on the trampoline and let the gate open. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about all the distractions. I'll finish up this across the grain pass here. Let's do an efficiency check when I get my water sprayer here. Now we feel that menthol. Looks like, or feels like there's less on the Goodfellas side right here. I'd have to watch the video again and see if I skin stretched and made as many passes on this side of my face. But as far as feedback and feel wise, there is definitely more blade feel, and the There was more blade feel, and it was definitely rougher and not as smooth on the Van Winkle side for that across the grain pass for me personally. It was very comparable against the grain on the two razors, but the across the grain, I would definitely give the win to the Goodfellas. Definitely a lot smoother. I really like the Hendrick Classic & Co. soap that I use in regards to the base. For a vegan soap, I was definitely impressed. It had great cushion to it, which is where I personally feel a lot of vegan soaps are kind of lacking, for me personally anyways, is the cushion doesn't seem to be on par with the tallow soaps, but I definitely enjoyed it in that regard. Against the grain, really smooth and really nice. With the Gladio there. Let's try the Hendrick Classic Co. here against the grain. Let me just get cleaned up under the nose here. All right, let's see. The Goodfellas side is pretty much BBS. There's a tiniest bit right here on my chin on both sides. And like tiny bit right there. Whereas the Hendrix seems like I've got a lot more here to pick up. All right, let me go ahead and get rinsed up, and I'll go ahead and give you my 2 cents and review these razors. I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm gonna put my splash on so we can enjoy that while I go over everything. If you like pineapple smells and you like menthol, this iced pineapple by Sterling is awesome. Really, really good. Really good pineapple scent. All right, so on the quest for a low blade feel, mild open comb, but that still has good efficiency. Does such a thing exist? Well, I have to say yes. And for me personally, I have to definitely give it to the Goodfellas in that regard. It was smoother on pretty much almost all of the passes. I didn't get any hint of any blade shatter whatsoever. And I've tried it with a few blades now. I've tried it with a Willys blade that I recently just started testing, a Filoso blade, and this is the 7 o'clock super stainless, the greens, and it works great with all the blades that I've tried it with. The Van Winkle, I had tried it with that Filoso blade, or no, sorry, the Willys blade, and it was terrible in that. I didn't like it at all, and I switched it to the super stainless, and I found that that was a good pairing. So that was actually the reason why I chose that particular blade to use today. So I do like the knurling on this as far as it has great grip. As I mentioned again, I wish it was a solid handle. You know, I personally just don't like the feel of a hollow handle. You know, I'm not trying to knock anything or anything. These are just my observations. You know, I grew up with my dad making violins and fine woodcraft. So, you know, I've been around fine instruments. He made a lot of his own tools, and he made all of his own finger planes that are like this big out of brass. So my particular observation as far as fit, finish, and quality might be a little bit different than some other people's. But in my personal opinion, I feel that the Goodfellas is a more quality piece. The fit and finish is better. I don't have any blade alignment issues or anything to align, and you know, everything's symmetrical. Whereas on the Van Winkle, as I mentioned, on one side the blade kind of protrudes further on one side and almost kind of covers the teeth a little bit, whereas on this particular side, very hard to see, but it doesn't. It almost just kind of comes to the teeth. You know, in comparison, the Goodfellas is a little bit different, but you know, overall, as far as if I was to grab both of these two razors and say, you know, which one feels like it's a little bit better fit and finish, I would definitely give it to the Goodfellas in that regard. As far as lower blade feel and ease of use, I would also give it to the Goodfellas. It was just easier to find the angle. Not that it's hard on the Van Winkle, but it just always seemed like it was, you know, hitting that perfect spot, and very, very smooth everywhere, very forgiving for an open comb. And for me personally, this is probably one of the smoothest, nicest open combs I've ever used. I would have to give a hat tip to David at the Inspector's Den. I would agree with him 100%. If you're looking for a smooth, low blade feel, mild open comb that still packs efficiency, this would definitely be my top pick. The other open comb that I want to compare this Gladio from Goodfellas to would be the Yaqi melon head, but the Zamac one. A lot of people are not aware, but for whatever reason, Yaqi decided to change the Zamac head versus a stainless steel head, and the stainless steel head is more aggressive. But I feel that the other open comb that I really like and is also low blade feel as far as modern razors go would be that Yaqi melon head that I wound up just getting as a gift, and I would kind of turn my nose up to it because I thought it was, looks-wise, it looks identical to the Razor Rock Slock. But comparing them, I definitely feel that the Razor Rock has more blade feel than the Slock. I would say that the Yaqi stainless steel melon is more similar to the Slock. But anyways, I personally like this one better. If you're looking for a more low blade feel, you have sensitive neckline or sensitive parts of your face, that would be my particular pick. But you know, if you like a razor and you can handle one that, if you have more of a light beard and stuff like that, you're not worried about any of the chatter, I would go with this. You know, you can't go wrong for $24 for an open comb if you've never tried one. You know, it's a great razor, and if you like more traditional knurling, this is a great look. But as I mentioned, they do make this in a stainless steel handle that's much more conventional looking, similar to this. I think it's got two lines on the bottom or something like that, but a more conventional look, and it is stainless steel. I don't know if that particular handle is solid on the Goodfellas, but there are some options there. So that's my take on it. So yes, you can get a mild open comb, and you can get one for less than 30 bucks. So if you haven't tried an open comb and you're looking, that would be my advice, would be check out one of these Goodfellas. As I mentioned again, they make it in the Italico. This is the Gladio, and they also make it in the Empirico, and they're all the same head, it's just different handles. So that's my take on it. If you're looking for a mild open comb, check some of these out. All sorts of fun to be had, and I look forward to talking to everybody in the comments. Thank you and take care.